Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. On this one I'm going to try and do some water squirters for the S13 because it's got an LS1 and it just rips through the tyres. It doesn't really use that much tyres, but I'm going to try and conserve because cars cost a lot of money. So, water squirters, let's go. Roll the intro now.
Tell me, is it whack up in the air? Rapping scattered off the gear. I can map him, get the ears like a tracker. Get distracted, send him back like in the mail. Not a fraction of them real. Catch him like and run the drill. Running through the shit like a motherfucking dage.
Welcome back, guys. Awesome announcement to make. We just hit 3k subscribers on YouTube. I turned the little the subscriber count back on so you can see it now. It says 3k. That's bloody exciting. Definitely. Yeah, feels like we've reached like another milestone. That's pretty cool. I appreciate all you guys that have joined to make that 3,000. Man, that's cool. 3,000 people looking at me right now. That's just a trippy thought. But anyway, let's get back into this. On that note, actually, like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. We're going to be making some water squirters, and there's a few ways you can do it. Of course, always is. The way I'm going to do it, I have these pumps. So these go on your stock, your water reservoir for your washer bottle. So these here push into a container, and then it sucks the water. This little pump here sucks the water, boom boom boom, pumps the water out through a hose, and then goes to a little nozzle that's usually on your bonnet. These I got off eBay, and they're like what, $1 or something, and they have like a little nut and a thread, so you can screw them and then thread them all in the same thing, which is really cool. So they're going to be what's best suited for my application. And I just got this container here that's like probably the exact right size that I need. Did have hydraulic oil in it, so I did use acid to eat out everything inside, and now it's nice and clean. So the plan is, I'm using a container this big so I don't have to fill it up freaking every couple of laps. But the plan is drill a hole just big enough for this to fit in. There's a rubber section on here. Slide that in, silicone, try and seal it, see how well that goes. And then just a rubber hose, just your normal line there, straight off there, around, and then position this right in the wheel arch so it points down at the tyre. And then I'm going to be running 2 of these. Run wires off here to a switch, 12 volt source, flick the switch, sucks water out, sprays the water on the tyre, cools down the tyre, and use less tyre, hopefully. So let's get right into this. I haven't done any research. I'm just going by what I think might work, and then it's probably going to be a research and development project. But if it works and saves me some tyres, I'm going to be a very happy man, because it's expensive drifting. Just melting tyres, just melting money straight out the back, but definitely worth it. So much fun. I'm talking a bit quieter now because it's like really late at night, but I'm going to try and drill this hole without making too much noise. Alright, so last night I finished playing around. I just chucked the side skirts on there, and then while I was doing that I noticed that there was a bunch of oil just sitting on the ground here. Was all that oil there, and I was like, where the hell has that come from? Turns out my coilover just decided to let all the oil out, so that's come out and dripped down, landed on the wheel and on the floor. I moved it forwards overnight just to see how much more is coming out, and there's a tiny little pile there, so I'm guessing like that's all the oil, and the oil's supposed to be in there to help lubricate it. So it's definitely not ideal, and I think I'm just going to take like a test run around the backyard and just see, maybe up the street a little bit too, just to see how it behaves, because if your coilover stuffed, it's going to stuff up your whole everything, all your driveline, so it's going to be bouncing around and be shithouse. I have got spare front S13 coilovers, but if I change them out, it's going to be difficult to get it in the exact same spot as it is now, because they have the adjustable camber tops on the top. You could try and get it pretty close, but like end of the day, if I change it out, I'm gonna have to get a wheel alignment most likely, because yeah, I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna test it out and just see if it's right, and then just leave it. But one of these things with the bloody Cars, mate, they just do what they want to do. Just been fine all this time. All of a sudden, let the oil out. Very strange. It was up in the air, so it did have no tyre on it up in the air, and it was hanging. And then I put a tyre on it, put it back and down, and it's compressed. So anyway, the front tyres look really sick. Got the Achilles on there. Hopefully that gives me plenty of front end grip. The water squirters. So I put some of the white silicone stuff in here. Special marine type one. And it had a bit of a leak, so I've added a shitload more of it, and it should be sweet now. I'm just gonna let that dry, and then we'll test it out. So I've gone with this huge ass bucket because I don't want to have to keep on filling it up. Like once a day would be nice, because I've seen people use the tiny ones, like in a footwell or something, and they have to just keep filling it up over and over. What we're gonna do is, I did want to put it in the boot. It doesn't fit in the boot. Even a smaller container doesn't fit in the boot. It's already used up. So what we're going to do, we're going to mount it just here in the back. So with some kind of strap to that pole and to the actual car, so that I can take it out and fill it up again, or reach in here with a bottle and fill it up through the top. I've whacked in some wiring here. Just got to mount the switch on the dash there. Did that last night because it's quick and boring. So yeah, I'll finish doing the squirters, get it mounted in there, take it for a test drive and just test out that coilover. If that's good, we're golden. I'm just gonna leave it. And then I've got to detail this thing. It's really not pretty. Like, also, all this on the dash here, it's not mold, it's just dirt. It's like wet dirt that's like splattered there. It does look like mold on camera though. And then I've got to detail it, so it's absolutely filthy from doing skids in the backyard with that fresh dust on the ground. Not good. Did get a brand new front bar here because the other front bar got destroyed. Insert clip. Oh no, there's a thumbnail. Oh shit. Yeah, we can't fix that, babe. And then yeah, so Zara dragged it around the track for a couple of laps because she didn't know. And so this bumper bar is like, that's paper thin there. I could, if I had the other half, I could repair it and we could use it, but couldn't find the other half. So we got a brand new one. 300 bucks on Marketplace is pretty expensive. There was a second-hand one for 180, but it was north side, so we ended up with a brand newie. Yes, and I've got to modify it. It's not quite exactly the same, it's slightly different, so it's slightly smaller. That one's a bit more aggressive, but when they're new, they quite often need modifying to fit the front end of your car. I'm just going to match that one to this one so that it should fit, because that one was fitting obviously. I've marked it here with a pen where I need to cut out, because all this section here is hitting against my bash bar and my everything, like literally touches everything except for the intercooler. It clears the intercooler just nicely. So I'm going to cut that out, prep this up for paint. I also made 2 end plates for the wing finally. Zara's been wanting me to do them for a long time, so they're done. But yeah, just putting all the pieces together now. And keen. It's bloody hot today. 2 weeks to Matsuri. Get pumped for that. Alright, so cutting fiberglass is not fun. You get it all over you and it's itchy. This isn't too bad. For some reason this fiberglass is not that itchy. But this is my 3rd time trying, so because I've got this bash bar in here and this section of the bar is quite thin compared to what it used to be. It used to be heaps thicker. There's actually a piece of metal behind there that's pretty much the same size as this, so I have to keep cutting it back until I have clearance to get in there. So we're almost there. This is the 3rd time lucky. Let's go. Boom, and she's on. So yeah, that last bit of tweaking got it on there. She's a bloody tight fit, so probably don't even need these quick release bumper straps, but you gotta have something on there to hold it. So the previous bumper had these quick release, what would you call it? Just a quick release bumper fastener. The fastener. So you can get these from eBay or Password JDM. They sell them, and they're the main supplier of them, but you can get eBay ones. I got these on my Facebook marketplace, of course, just because I didn't want to wait for delivery. I didn't have time for that shit. So I got some purple ones for the S13. I got 2 that are still on there, so I'm going to use those 2 on one side, and the gold ones are going on the 32 because we like gold on the 32. How sick is this going to be? Yeah, boy. Love the black and gold, eh? Black, gold, and white. Looks sick. Won't be black forever, but you know what I mean. This camera, eh? Taking a bit to focus today, mate. So yeah, I've had enough cutting. Now I'm going to start sanding and prep this bar for paint. I'm going to paint that black, those black, and the whole car needs a touch up, but I'll probably just give it a wash and probably just get the Sharpie out and go over all the white marks and make it all look good. This car needs some real TLC, eh? Like, it needs sanding back completely and a full respray, which Xavier said he's keen to learn on, so that'll be cool. If I do the prep work, he's keen to gun it, and we can borrow Hayden's spray booth. I'll probably rent it off him actually, and that would be cool. What colour do you reckon the S13 should go? Even though Zara's going to be the one picking the colour, but yeah. Let's continue on with the prep work. I've got heaps of shit in this episode, so I'm not really doing any time lapses, but I should do. There's just so much stuff. Little bits and pieces here and there, prep work. It's always crunch time. Matsuri, I'm trying not to let that happen again this time, but I'm sure it'll be the same as every time. Last minute you're running around trying to get shit. Anyway, it goes on. So this is before, all nice and dirty, and to this. So it's the next day, she's all nice and clean and dry. I'm just gonna put the air intake back on. That's there, that was absolutely filthy. And put that back on and give it a test run with these coilovers. Hopefully it's alright, because yeah, coilovers, even second-hand ones aren't that cheap. Expensive part to break, but want it to be right. I do have a spare set on the 180 right now that I could steal. I do have a spare set up on the shelf there, but if it's not shit, I'm just gonna send it like that. I should just drive it and see what it does, eh? I'm gonna drive it. Man, so much ladder with that straight pipe. Just took it for a spin up the road to test this coilover out. Seems fine, eh? It seems perfectly fine, so hang on a sec. Yeah, it seems perfectly fine. Like, I just took it up the road, just done some swerve and tried to hit some gutters, you know. Tried to hit some gutters, but yeah, seems okay, which is weird. I hate shit like that, like whether it's not worth risking it or fixing it. So I think I'm just gonna leave it, eh? If this might come back to bite me in the ass, but I think I'm gonna leave the coilover just how it is, because it seems to be working, and it is on the front. So man, it's a hard one. I'm gonna leave it though. Shit. Alright, on to painting the front bar and getting a couple other things sorted. Let's get these water squirters in here actually. Alright, so my little sealing up job passed the test overnight. I sealed it up with extra lot. I started off nice and neat, and then when it started leaking I went a bit hectic on it. So they're just your little squirters, and I've got some nipples on here just to stop the water from pissing out. So that's the leak test done. This is full of 10 litres of hydraulic oil. No, it's 10 litres of water. That wasn't even a joke. And yeah, so that works. That's sick. Hopefully I don't have to fill it up much. Surely not. Surely I won't lose 10 litres. Like, that's quite a lot. So now to get that mounted in the car, I'm thinking of putting it. So the next part is to get it mounted in here in a way where it can be removed and it won't move, because drifting, your car flings around quite a lot if you don't have things secured that need to be secured, such as seats as the main one, your battery being number 2, and anything else that you have in the car. You need it to be secure really well. A lot of the time drift cars, the battery will come loose and fly around the boot. Big problem. So I'm gonna have to make sure that I do a good job securing this. Probably some ratchet straps. Yeah, but I'm gonna get onto that now. Do some wiring, get it all pumping, drill some holes, squirt it out the water. She's good to go. You know when sometimes you have an idea and it works out even better than your idea? This is one of those bloody times. Like, this is, you're not gonna move that. That's solid as, and all it is around the bar, up over the top, around the bar there, and it's resting on the back and not the front. So it's actually freaking perfect, and these little motors are so close to the front, so easy to get to. And now, yeah, just got to run some hose off here, one to that wheel arch to spray down into the tire, and one round into that wheel arch and spray into the tire. Hook up my wires, figure out which one is to pump it and which one's the wrong way around, and then hopefully we got some water coming out of here. Pretty freaking cool. I was even thinking, like, you could add another little pump with some more wiring off a separate switch and run a hose up next to your shoulder there. Just pick it up, chuck it in your mouth and turn the switch on and have a drink, because it's going to be bloody hot at this Matsuri. Like, it's been so hot lately. For some reason for today it's actually bloody cold and windy, but I'm assuming it's going to be bloody hot out there. So this thing is going to be a hot box. Black car, it's always hot as shit. No aircon, no fan. It's just doors open. Flap the wings, boys, flap the wings. Alright, so as some of you probably were thinking, and I was thinking it too, I just didn't want to say it in case it happened, and yeah, she started leaking again. Only out of this one though. That one there is mint, so I think I cut the hole a little bit bigger on this one. So it's not sealing that great, so I pulled it off and I resealed it there. That white marine Sikaflex stuff, I put that on there, did it all again. It's not too much of a big deal. And then before I pushed it in there, I put all the hoses and lines, what do you call it, power lines. I put the hoses and the power lines on so that, because when you do that you push and you flex it, and then it cracked the seal, and that's what did it. So if I have them all pushed on there, then it dries overnight. I can sit that back down, strap it in, and hopefully she doesn't leak. When it does leak, it's like a tiniest little drip, which isn't the end of the world, but I'd rather it not leak. So that's that. I did a test and man, she squirts some water. Freaking pumps. So I've got the little squirters here. I'm just gonna wait till that dries overnight, hook one of these on, squirt it, and just see what the spray pattern looks like. Because if it's on a windscreen, I'm guessing it goes like that. So probably mount them like sideways like this so that it squirts on the tire like that, because you don't want to be squirting like that. You probably miss the whole tire completely. So we'll squirt this way, and then have to figure out how I'm going to do that, because I don't know if I want, I'm going to have to make some kind of bracket to hold it in place. So that's going to be fun. I think I'm going to, I've spent about 5 minutes thinking about it, and I think I'm going to like drill a hole on the front of the tire so the water sprays on this section and then it flicks under and goes onto the tire. Because if I put it on the top, similar scenario, but if I put it on the back, it's just gonna, the water's gonna be flicking back up this way, and it's just gonna flick all the water off the tire. I'm thinking I put them here, facing that way, and then you're gonna get the most effect out of your water cooling, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so wait for that to dry, and we'll come back and do some more tomorrow. Also, actually, one cool thing I'll show you. The sun's gone down. So now I can turn the lights off and show you. We got Underglow back, yeah boy. And we got all the colors too. Got a remote here so I can change it up. But yeah, we're running pink, because pink is fully sick. And also, one of my best mates has just painted his car and it's come out pretty sick, so it's going to match my car really well. Stay tuned for that if you know what I'm talking about. so you've probably already seen it. Pretty exciting. So yeah, be back tomorrow, do some more on this. It's got a flat battery. Okay, so I made up a couple little brackets here, just so we can get the right angle. So that's going to mount on the actual wheel well on the inside, and then where it sprays out is out of these two nozzles here. So I'm going to drill like a pretty decent sized hole for that to sit in to spray the water out. Don't know how this is going to work, but I think this is pretty much the only way to do it. But yeah, so I'm going to do that, figure out the spray pattern of these, and also let's check to see if we sealed up that bloody squirter motor. So I've just had it sitting there drying overnight. I'm going to sit that back down, hopefully it's sealed. Fingers bloody crossed, like pretty much guarantee that this is going to leak at some stage. It's something pretty cool. I'll probably end up like buying a large washer bottle that fits the tire squirter motor into like the plastic mold properly, because it's like a proper seal instead of trying to make your own seal. I thought it would seal alright, but as I was doing it I realized that it's not going to seal very good. But let's just send it, eh? Let's see what happens. Well, great news so far. I tipped it down so the water is hard against the seal there and it's holding, and then I strapped it back down and she's fully secure. So the trick was to mount everything onto the squirters so that I don't have to touch them now, and yeah, I shouldn't have to put any pressure on that, and it should stay sealed. Fingers crossed on that one. Now we've got these hoses here. I'm going to run it into the spot where we were speaking about before on those two sides. The other thing I did notice is if you have the mounting point of the squirter lower than the bottle, you get water come out. So you need to keep the position higher of the squirter than where you're going to mount it to, because if you put it lower it starts pissing out. So pretty much need to be no lower than that. Water coming out, water coming out. So probably about here, which is going to do it just fine. Okay, so we've got a little bit of success here. I've got the squirter mounted on there with a hole in the car, so it shoots straight through onto the tyre. So you flick a switch on the dash, squirts the water out onto the tyre. I'm just figuring out getting like the exact like spot where I want it to spray. So at the moment it's spraying pretty much right in the center, which is sick. So there's little like nozzles on that, little like swivel nozzles on that squirter, and you can direct them where you want them. Very touchy. So I've been playing around with those two little nozzles and I got it to here, so I'm pretty happy. That's one side done. Now just to hook up the other side, and I learnt to drill your hole a little bit closer to the center of the wheel well. And then I've got to try and figure out a way of like covering this massive hole that I've just done, because drifting, you get a lot of tire smoke and you don't want it in the cabin. That's going to come straight in the cabin, like not ideal. So I have to figure out some kind of like cover, like a box or silicone, I don't know, something to work. Bit of tape, mate. Let's do the other side, and then hopefully this works. Pretty keen to try it. Pretty freaking keen. Okay, so I got both of these working. We're just gonna have it jacked up, start the car, put it in gear, have the tires spinning, turn the sprayers on, and then see if you can see how the water is gonna behave. Yeah, let's just have a little test run here and see. It works in theory. Wonder if it works in practice. Let's have a go. Well, I think that's a success, other than getting everything wet that I didn't think about, like that cardboard box and my tools. But it covers the tyre in water, so what more could you want? That's freaking awesome. I'm really keen to actually try this, because the more tyres I save, the more tyres I have left to do other events after Matsuri. That would be sick if I can do some more drifting. I haven't drifted I don't think I've even drifted since last Matsuri. I did one Archerfield session. So yeah, I'm pretty keen to go back out on the track. I'm gonna clean up this water, top up the tank, and then that's that job done. Cool, so I've got all my stuff here ready for Matsuri. It has been a few days, but we're pretty much ready. Got to fill up these. Got all my tools here, pretty much just your bare essentials: a rattle gun, impact driver, you know, basic tools, all the zip ties, a jack stands. I will be taking this big ass fan that is handy as for Matsuris. Love that fan. But yeah, so now to load up the S13, we got the D-Max out here. Obviously, you guys thought I was serious about the Jeep. Obviously I know the Jeep is like definitely not a tow rig, but I will be selling it. I'm just gonna fix it up and sell it. So I'm not very good at jokes, but there was some pretty funny comments that you guys were like like throwing up and shit at it. It's pretty funny. But nah, I definitely just bought it to fix it up and sell it, because got the mighty D-Max. Even the BT50 is a better tow rig than the Jeep. But yeah, I have heard they are very problematic, so that wouldn't be good for a tow car. I will be getting my plan is to get like a decent four-wheel drive setup in the future, but there's so much cool JDM stuff I want to do first, and I have a tow vehicle, the D-Max, the mighty D-Max, so that won't be happening for a little while, but will happen eventually. So we've got the trailer here, got all the tires on. I've got a couple of loose tires over there that I'm going to take with me to the track, and yeah, let's just load up the S13 onto the track. The last thing to do after that will be the bumper bar, and Xavier is going to be painting that this afternoon, so it'll be dry for tomorrow. I can fit it on there once it's on the trailer, no big deal, and wash the car. So on Friday night at Matsuri, all the drivers and pit crew arrive, and then they're going to be having a Friday night car meet on short track, which is so cool. They did it for the first time last year and last Matsuri, and it was really sick, but my car wasn't freaking working at the time, which is so lame. And I didn't have any underglow either, so we got it fixed on the Friday night and then it was ready for Saturday, but it should be working this time. No freaking electrical issues. I've got my underglow on, it looks sick, so I'll be going to that car meet. You'll be seeing a video from that. And then Saturday, this is a quick rundown of how Matsuri works. Saturday, you've got 8 AM is the track's open and you can start racing. Then it goes all the way through the whole day till 10 o'clock at night. Insane. So you get every freaking lighting experience in the one day, which is really cool. Nighttime drifting, and there's no one on the track at nighttime. And then on Sunday, you've got 8 till about 4 in the afternoon, and around about 2 o'clock they open up the Driftorama layout and change it up, which is sick. If your car makes it to that, then you get to have even more fun, because that layout is my favorite. It's so cool, and it's high speed at the start, and if you can link the whole thing, it's so cool. It's so much drifting, but so much tires and pressure on your car, but it's really cool. So that's just a rundown. There has been an announcement made just today, today's Thursday, of some new, you only have 75% capacity at events at the moment because of that stuff that's going on around the world, and that sucks. So I think some spectators, I'm not sure how they're going to work it. QR is such a big area, you can social distance it really easy, but we'll see what happens, see what they implement. But hopefully all you guys can come out and spectate. If not, there's going to be heaps of footage from me, Xavier and Kyle. We're all sharing a garage, and we're all going to have videos throughout the weekend, so get excited for next week when all the videos come out. If you can't make it, if you can make it, take some videos on your phone and tag me on Instagram, because I will reshare them all. And man, I'm actually getting excited. I try not to get too excited just in case something bad happens, but I'm getting pretty excited. So let's load up the car. This is a long episode. Alright, thanks to Xavier for helping me load her up. She sounds so much louder with that straight pipe attached on the back there. She definitely makes a big difference. It's just starting to rain here. Not to fear though. Tomorrow is going to be rain as well, Friday. And then Saturday, Sunday is going to be hot as shit. Apparently it's going to be 31, 35 or something like that. Really bloody hot. And it has we've had a few hot days here, so we're not really acclimatized properly yet, so I'm assuming we're gonna get roasted. My windows are down. I'm gonna go strap this on. Hopefully it stops raining and I can strap it down without getting wet. And I'll see you guys at Matsuri. Let's go. Thanks so much for watching. Like, comment and subscribe.